and that makes them entertaining, and I would think very hard to defend against. So we're excited and kind of think that Evergreen's been preparing for this, and we'll just see what the Evergreen Vikings can do. I guess you got to assume that. Time is ready to go on the clock there.
Into the Evergreen Vikings. One thing, Jim, is the big thing for Liberty Center. They've got to come in, and Rex Lindgren's biggest job is going to keep the Tigers focused. You come in scoring 103 points and only allowing 21, and you've really got a job of keeping the kids focused on what they have to do. But once again, the speed of Liberty Center and their offense, which was a question this year with replacing the offensive line, their depth is incredible in the backfield with 6 rushers with over 80 yards this year. Drossix to kick for the Tigers. Be taken at the 18-yard line, out across the 25, out to about the 27-yard line. It was Keller on the return. I see Ryan Miller in on the tackle along with Sattler for the Tigers. First and 10 for the Vikings on the 27-yard line, 27 and a half. Miller's going to come right out past, a little screen to the right, just about intercepted by Sam Smith. Very good defensive play as Smith and McClure closed hard on that one.
That appeared to be a good call, Glenn. The Tigers were really rushing hard. They had their ears pinned back, and that pass looked like it should have been caught. Could have gone for some yards.
You're right. It was a very good call. We had all the interference leading out to the left side, and they come back right. We've got the Vikings going left to right on the field. They're going right up the middle here, and it looks like no gain there. Maybe a loss of 1 on the yard, and the Tiger defensive line looked very, very stingy on that play. We had Blake Lindgren in on the stop, along with Paul Amstutz and Bush. Loss of 1 on the play. We've got 3rd and 11 for the Vikings. Most likely a passing situation. Rolls out. He keeps it on a bootleg, and it's only going to be good for a couple of yards. Amstutz once again on the tackle, which is going to bring up a 4th down and probably about a 5 situation. Joe Hudick into punt for the Vikings. Deep for the Tigers will be Mike McClure. Gets off a nice punt. McClure fields it at the 35-yard line. Coming to the near side. Excellent stop. Excellent stop by the fullback, Scott Keller, number 30 on the stop.
Glenn, they've had the first series under their belt by the Evergreen Vikings, and after they get those initial hits out of the way, then you almost think they're ready to play football, and for the most part, the line play's been pretty crisp so far.
Here's due here with the ball. They're coming out with Joe Drossix at quarterback. We've got Zeider at fullback, Atkinson at a half. In the wing position is Sam Smith. He's dropped it back to pass on the first play. Looking for Sam Smith, and he overthrows him. Good coverage there, Jim.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out. I think the Evergreen Vikings have seen some film, and they know a lot of these Tiger receivers can get deep in a hurry, and on that particular play, the coverage was there.
It looked like Chris Sambola, number 7, was right in stride with Sam. I see they've also got Miller playing the safety position. So he's playing on both sides of the ball tonight. Zeider and Sam Smith set in the backfield. Smith on the carry, and he's only going to be good for about 1, maybe 2 yards on the carry. Evergreen defense is right on top of that. They've looked good.
Yes, they have. That line play appears to be pretty neutralized right now. They're firing out, but the Vikings are right there. Here we go on a 3rd and 8, Glenn.
Smith and Zeiter set in the backfield. Atkinson in the slot. Pitch out to Zeiter around the right side. Zeiter the ball carrier and gets up about 5 yards on the carry, but you're still going to come up short with a 4th and probably a long 2. A very impressive defensive stance for the Evergreen Vikings. And this is not a familiar situation for the Tigers as they'll go into punt formation. Deep for the Vikings will be Simbola and Miller. Drossix to punt for the Tigers. He fakes a punt, throws a pass. Zeiter along sidelines, has a 1st down, out across the 40, down to the 39-yard line. So Rex has gone into his bag of tricks already here, and it pays off with a very nice, very well executed fake punt. You know, last week the Tigers had stalled out early on, I think, our first possession, and we had to go into I believe let's go back live here, and we've got Sam Smith with a carry. He breaks several tackles. It's out about an 8-yard carry down to about the 31-yard line. Sam Smith. And I think they had an illegal participation last week at Montpelier on the first Tiger punt, which gave him an automatic 1st down, and they went on, I think, 2 plays later when Smith broke one for 65, 70 yards for the first Tiger score. So very similar situation, Jim.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't see.
Drossix set under center. Hands off to Zeiter right up the middle. Zeiter down to about the 23-yard line. It's the fullback right off the left side. A very nice carry for Ryan Zeiter.
Yeah, they appear to be going on a ball control offense now, and the offensive line of the Tigers seem to be doing the job, and they're moving that Evergreen team back just enough that the back can get a good start.
It's always, I think early in the year, that was the biggest question mark, was our offensive line. They lost a very skilled offensive line last year with a lot of veterans. Drossix hands off inside trap there to Smith, and he's still alive. It takes it down to about the 21-yard line, where you're going to have 2nd down and probably about 8 yards to go. For example, at your right tackle, he's not a big person, but he's somebody that comes off the ball and can pull out around the end and lead interference up into the defense. Drossix sets under center again. Zeiter and Smith in backfield. Quick flip left to Smith. He's got one man there. He's down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 9. Miller had to come up from safety to make that tackle. Otherwise, we had 6 points.
Good effort at a block over here on our end position, and the Evergreen guy kind of gave him a step and took it away, but the Tiger blocker didn't hold. And that was a wise play. He did what he could to kind of make a screen block.
Right,
and
making the interference there.
And thereby that was a successful play for the Tigers.
Drossix sets up under center. Well, student body action left. There's a flag on the play as Smith walks into the end zone. And I think you may bring that one back. It was thrown into play right near our end down there, and I would look for a hold or an illegal use of the hands. We've got a holding on the Tigers. So that one will be nullified. Jim, I see Cam Smith was in on that play. That's the first I've seen Cam in this year. He sustained a ankle injury, torn ligaments, I believe, in a scrimmage this year. It's good to see him back. He's so explosive, and he's going to just another another back to add to our depth.
That's true, and I believe that makes the stable of Smith to be in number of 3. And they do have quickness and that explosiveness, as you mentioned. This will give the Evergreen Vikings some life, as they did march off a holding penalty against the Tigers. So it is still first down and goal, but the ball's on the 18-yard line.
We'll see what they come up with. I think Evergreen would look for him to maybe throw a pass inside here, but we'll see what we've got. Jurassic sets under center, goes right up through the middle. Zeider breaks it down to the 10-yard line. A nice 8-yard gain right through the middle. Once again, the explosiveness of the offensive line. Kenzie Kern at center laid a beautiful block on that play. There again, we speak of the athletes that they put up front and make these offensive linemen, and the unselfishness. You take somebody like Kern, who was a nice running back a year ago and has proven already this year running the ball in the second half of the game that he's a very good back, but he goes up unselfishly and goes to center. Here we've got a pitch out left to Smith. A lot of Vikings there. Smith keeps charging. He's in for the score. What an effort. A lot of black jerseys blocking on the way there.
Exactly, and your comment earlier about the Tigers willing to make sacrifices and play where is deemed they can help the team best. Earlier we were talking the line having to rebuild so extensively. They were a question mark, and whether they would gel in those positions, but I think the Tiger coaches have been pleased with the line play at this stage of the season, and the boys know they can do it, and it just makes them tougher right along, Glenn.
Well, I think so, and they have done a super job of putting the right people in the right places. Drossic's in to attempt the extra point. It is up and it's good, and the Tigers with 5:36 left in the first quarter take the lead 7-0. Okay, here we go. Draw 6 to kick for the Tigers. We've got Keller and Sambola deep. Looks like it's going to be Keller taking it about the 16-yard line. Up across the 25, and it looks like it's going to be about the 27, 28-yard line once again. We'll try to set you up with our defensive personnel here for the Tigers. I know at tackle positions right now we've got Spangler right down over the ball, Lindgren, Bush, and I'm trying to see who our right end is. I know we've got Ziegler at the right end. Keller the ball carrier. Keller's going to go for about 3 yards out to about the 31-yard line. At linebacker positions, we've got Silvis, number 82. We've got Kern, 69, Amstutz 66. In the defensive backfield, we've got Jesse Smith, number 11. We got Seth Atkinson. I think we've got Mike McClure and Ryan Zeider. Second down, 8 yards to go. Miller back to pass, a lot of pressure, and it's thrown incomplete. Good coverage by Jesse Smith.
Glenn, let's talk just a little bit about the Evergreen quarterback. As I recall, he is an excellent athlete. His contributions in basketball were thought of quite highly around the league and around the area, and he's proven to be an excellent quarterback for the Vikings.
This is another year in the NWAL with a lot of talent at the signal caller's position this year. You take Patrick Henry, Evergreen, Liberty Center, Joe Drostics is right up there with them, and there's a lot of talent around the league. It looked like we had a procedure penalty on the left end for Evergreen. We'll see what the call is here. Got illegal procedure, which is going to back the ball up. It'll make it 3rd and 13, a little bit tougher for him, Jim.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to almost talk them into a pass. I go back to their first play from the line of scrimmage. The Tigers really had quite a blitz, quite a rush on there, and there was a screen pass off to the right flat, and you wonder, I don't think we've seen that develop again. This may be a good time for it.
I think they had to seen that upstairs. I know we did right here. And like you say, the surge from the defensive line for Liberty will set up that screen 9 times out of 10. It's going to be good. Miller's going with the option left, hits the pitch man. He's out, he's breaking it, there he goes. I don't know if anybody's going to catch it. It's Jesse Smith chasing him down, the speed, and what a run. All the way down inside the 25-yard line. It was Terry McIntosh on the carry, and there's just an option left. Miller kept the ball as long as he could, and then he hit the pitch man.
Yeah, to get started. Is that right, Glenn?
That's right, and he really, when he turned the corner, he took off and he went. Good thing we've got somebody like Jesse Miller. Brooks Miller up underneath center. New life into the Vikings. A little crisscross there, and not too many people fooled on that one. He'll get probably about 2 yards on the carry.
As we watch this game beginning to unfold with there being just a little over 4 minutes left in the first quarter, I can see some speed on this Viking team, and that's making things interesting. Plus, they believe, and they're out here toe-to-toe with the Tigers, and right now they've got the Tigers on their heels a little bit with the ball on the 19-yard line.
Here we go, a 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Miller setting up underneath the center. He's got twins to the right. Long count. Option again, but he decides to keep the ball here. And Paul Amstutz comes up on an excellent defensive end effort there. I know you look at the option, what they're running here with him coming down the line. I know that's what gave Archibald fits last week with Brian. They've got some skilled athletes over there, and you've got to bring it in across hard at the quarterback, and hopefully your corners are going to come up and take care of that pitch, man. Here we go. We got twins to the right again. Miller up underneath center. Fakes. Here's come Heats from the backside. He completes it. Did he drop the incomplete pass? Oh, he had that, and I think he was looking at the yard marker.
I think he was doing exactly that. He was thinking first down or possibly more, and he didn't look that ball right into his hands, and so we have it here, fourth down, and we'll see what develops. But real interesting conflict out here right now. Evergreen moved the ball quite well up to this point, and they're huddling right now and seeing what they can do. I don't know if they have a field goal kicker, Glenn.
I think that'd be out of question right now, but you look, you're on the 19-yard line. It's almost a have-to-go situation. That's what they're going to do. Miller drops back, gets the ball out there, but the receiver can't get to it. The defensive back had fallen down, but McClure came over to cover, and the Tigers are going to take over on downs at the 19-yard line.
The Viking quarterback throws a nice pass, but at this point he's not quite connecting with the receivers, or the receivers aren't quite focused or in sync.
It's like he's just missing them by a step, and that's they could get that down here, and that could make a big difference. So the Tigers are taking over, 1st down and 10 on the 19-yard line. Jurasic sets up under center. Got Sam Smith, Zyder back, drops straight back. Zyder on a little screen out here left. He beats the first man out across the 30, 35, out to the 40-yard line. Very well executed screen pass out to the left of the fullback, and an excellent run by Ryan Zyder.
I'm getting that ball over there, and of course a nice gain then for the Tigers.
Yeah, there was no other way he could have thrown that ball either, because there was a defensive man closing on it the last second, and he did throw a beautiful pass. We've got Cam Smith back in now. Cam Smith at fullback. We'll see if they're going to use him here. Boy, look how explosive, right up the middle for 3 yards.
Yeah, he would be what you would call a hungry back because he hasn't seen action, and he so much wants to be in there with his brothers and with this Tiger team, which appears to be pretty strong, Glenn, at this point in the season, and how they're beginning to unfurl here tonight.
Yeah, I came down last evening and watched the Tigers practice under the lights, and I was surprised how explosive he is out of the backfield. There's just so much talent back here. There's a fake. He's looking at Jesse Smith. He's got him. He's down inside the 20, 10, 5. You're not going to catch him. That's a touchdown. What a beautiful touch by Joe Jurasic, and a beautiful catch and run by Jesse Smith. So the Tigers are back on the scoreboard once again. 1:47 left in the first quarter on a beautiful pass from Jurasic to Jesse Smith.
Oh, it was, Glenn, and it looked like the yellow uniforms are out there where they ought to be, but a perfectly thrown pass. Joe Jurasic is making people think of his brother Jeff, the former All-State quarterback here, who is also on the coaching staff. I mean, that was just a wonderful high school passing play. In fact, if the TV cameras were here, that would be in the highlight films.
He's matured as one of the good quarterbacks in the era. Jurasic adds the extra point, and he has done a super job, and he's really matured over the last 2 seasons. So with 1:47 left in the first quarter, it's the Liberty Center Tigers 14 and Evergreen 0. Okay, the Vikings are set to receive. The deep backs will be Keller and Simbola, number 24. I'm surprised, Jim, that they don't have this other Simbola, number 25, that had that nice run on their option play earlier. Boy, he looked fast. Jurasic's not a very strong kick. Takes it about the 27. Oh, he's hit hard by Sam Smith and Sattler in on the hit. What a hit by Smith. And it looks like they're going to take over on about the 33-yard line.
Looked like the kicker got into the tee pretty hard on that particular boot. But here we go with the Vikings again, and I think they have newfound respect for the receivers and backs of the Tigers. I mean, it looked as though they had that play covered, but the pass was thrown perfectly, and sure enough, the receiver did have about 2 steps out there, and then there came the ball, and so the Tigers are up 14 points at this point.
You're right, it was a beautiful pass. We'll get back to that, and Miller's up underneath center here. Well, we got an illegal procedure on the right end, number 81. It looked like there was some confusion. Miller looked over the sidelines, and 81 got a little head start there. You know, you said a beautiful pass, and he did have a couple steps on him, but when they catch that ball, it almost looked like their backs, defensive backs, were standing still with his speed. Just a tremendous athlete. I think what was he, second or third in the long jump at state this year, and on the 4x100 relay team, along with the 100 meters and 200 meters, I believe. 4 different events, and just an underclassman. Miller is going to set underneath center here with Keller and Simbola in the backfield, and he's got twins left. Fakes the middle. Oh, what a hit! What a hit! Lindgren and Spangler in on the hit on the quarterback on the pitch, and it caused the fumble. Keller was fortunate enough to jump on that one.
Yeah, Glenn, that's just what a fired-up defensive line can do for you. They came across the line of scrimmage and pretty well neutralized the charge of the Vikings and thereby spoiled that play. The quarterback, in retrospect, probably would have held on to it because that could have gone for a big disaster. But the intended receiver of the pitch was able to recover it, and thereby just a loss.
Now the Vikings are faced with a 2nd and 20. 2-back set. Wide out left, wide out right. There's your screen pass. It looks like it's very well covered. Mike McClure was the first Tiger there, along with Andy Silvis and Kenzie Kern. Nice coverage by the Tigers on that.
Yeah, that went for no gain, and they're going to flip the yard markers over, and the Vikings have got to come up with something really out of the ordinary. They're looking at a 3rd down and 20 yards.
3rd down, 20, the ball on the 23-yard line. The Tigers are really tightening up the belts here on defense right now. Two-back set. Once again, you got twins to the right. Tight end left. Miller rolls, looks, fakes pump, lets it go. Good coverage by the Tigers, and Miller throws the ball out of bounds. Seth Atkinson on the coverage and forces Miller to do nothing but throw the ball out of bounds, which is going to bring up a 4th down 20, a must-punt situation for the Vikings.
It's likely it'll be the last play of the quarter, too, with that clock with just 9 ticks to go. But Vikings are at this point a little bit stymied in what they'd like to do offensively. So we'll see. They'll probably be really working overtime on the coaching end of things to come up with something that'll work against this obviously quicker Tiger team.
Vikings are set to punt. Mike McClure deep. Oh, he only had to wait to get off. He still got off a beautiful punt. McClure fumbles the punt, and wisely another Tiger, number 2, Seth Atkinson, gets on the loose ball. That was an excellent punt for fumbling the ball around back there and then resetting himself. That's rather impressive. I was just going to say before they snapped the ball, I'd like to see McClure get a line drive punt to get to him quick, because he's as exciting as any of the other runners on this team. One of the faster backs that we have, and very, very exciting to watch when he gets in the open field.
He truly is, Glenn. Last week at Montpelier against the Locomotives, he ran some beautiful returns and, just essentially showed his skills as an open field runner. He's fearless, and if he would have gotten a punt that would have given him some room, he would have been coming with it. But what you said earlier, the kicker really made a great play, because he actually had to stop and take a sidestep and then get into the punting action, and that generally spells it gets blocked, or it would be like off the side of his foot and really a weak punt. But in this case, he did. He got a booming punt off, and might have surprised us the way that unfolded back here, because we did bobble that. And
could have been very disastrous for him.
Right, and the alert play of Seth Atkinson got right on that, so the Tigers have it.
14-0 Tigers. Tigers will come out 1st and 10, the ball on the 39-yard line. Two-back set. Looks like the Smith brothers in the backfield. Drossix drops straight back. He's getting some heat. He's Cam Smith aside. He just couldn't get a handle on it. That was a nice touch on the ball. He just couldn't bring it in. He did a little bit of a juggling act there.
Yeah, that pass was just a tad high with the way he had his feet, because he couldn't really jump. But really, the ball was there. I mean, he had him positioned right. It just was a little high, but kind of a fun play to watch unfold, and I believe the back had some running room.
I think he's awfully anxious to get that ball in his hands and take off. You sit out 2 weeks, your senior year, and he's just so anxious. Drossix sets under center, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. A little crisscross fumble on the play, and looks like the Vikings have it. That looked like an inside reverse there, and the ball handling, it looked like Smith had bobbled it when he got it and then tried to get rid of it when he was still bobbling the ball, which wasn't a good decision, but that's it's going to happen on a reverse like that. And the Evergreen Vikings are going to take over 1st and 10 here on...
Say momentum might have swung just a tad. They're going to have a crack at it here, but that play the Tigers just run did not look smooth from the beginning.
You're right, Jim. Now this will be a good test for the Tigers here on defense, and with the Vikings starting on their own 38-yard line here. Miller back to pass. He's hit by Sattler, I believe that was in on the tackle there.
Sattler, 65.
Sattler on the sack. What a nice move. He made an outside move and took it in and had a clean shot at Miller and took his pins out right from behind. Excellent defensive play. That's going to back them up 5 or 6 yards. Let's call it 2nd down 15, and the ball is back to about the 44-yard line.
That's an excellent defense against a good passer. Has put a rush on him that he can't have time to pick his receivers, and the Tigers had a rush on that play.
He was very lucky to hang on to the ball the way Sattler hit him from behind. 2nd down 15. Miller back to pass again. Sattler coming through again. Oh, nice lob pass. Miller. Oh, excellent defensive play. Jesse Smith right up in front of Sambola. You know, Smith looks like from here, Smith's got about 6 or 8 inches in height on this Sambola, and with his leaping ability, it's going to be hard to, once he gets in front of him, to get him the ball.
He had him covered like a blanket, Glenn, and maybe he was thinking yards and not looking that ball into his hand. But it's hard to say that when you're defending out there. But that was a good play, and the quarterback put the ball up, put some air under it, and thought his receiver would be there, but that was covered.
I really thought there was going to be a flag on that one with the way he climbed up Smith's back. But here's a draw play. Very good call, but Tigers are there again. Andy Silvas, he did a nice job of staying home at the linebacker's position. And I believe 25, that's the other Sambola that was the ball carrier on that. And like I said, it was a very nice call, and it's going to bring up 4th down 14 or 13 yards from about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, you spoke of that being a nice call, but it looked like there was going to be some yards there, but the quickness of the Tigers shut that down immediately and really for no gain.
Yeah, that's where the speed's going to come in, and like I said, it was a very nice job. They are going to go and put the ball up for punt here. Atkinson's deep for the Tigers. Very nice punt again. He fields it cleanly at the 10-yard line, comes out 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I don't think there's any way that anybody's going to catch him. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, and there are no flags on the field. Seth Atkinson, who just replaced Mike McClure after he could not handle the last punt, and what an effort from the 10-yard, 90-yard punt return.
What a play, Glenn, what a play. And I don't know if the cameraman got that. That happens to be the cameraman's son. That's Tom Atkinson's son. He's got to be busting his button. So if the camera's jumping all around, it's because of Tom Atkinson. But Seth Atkinson's got one to remember. That was a wonderful return.
I wonder if they had returned right all the way, because there was a beautiful wall of black jerseys right down here that set that up so nice for him. And that's something that the Tigers in the past, I know Coach Lindgren will start from day one of practice with his special teams. And the extra point is up and good by Jurasics. So with 10:03 left in the second quarter, a 90-yard punt return by Seth Atkinson, and a PAT by Joe Jurasics puts the Tigers up 21-0.
Or the backfield or just the overall quickness. The Tigers appear pretty strong. And as you said, the score being 21-0 with 10 minutes to go in the half, it's time for the Evergreen Vikings to take a deep breath and get a little ball control going here.
I think I'm going to have to condition myself. I might not have my breath after having to call that one. Just a beautiful run. Like I said, they set up such a beautiful wall, and you could almost see it as soon as he took the ball. And it's funny, he took the ball at the 10-yard line, but by the time he was to the 20-yard line, you knew he was going to break and go all the way because the wall was there, and then it was just a foot race, and we knew how that was going to come out.
Yeah, that's so true, Glenn. And thinking last week at the Montpelier game, when the Tigers got up a few touchdowns, you thought, well, the blocking would get sloppy and possibly they wouldn't try to go out and execute. And even when the reserves and the subs were in there, those kids were serious. They stayed down and tried to do what was necessary, and you like that in a good team.
Jurasic's kick goes down to about the 15-yard line. Keller's the ball carrier. Looks like he's going to bring it back out to about the 23, and there's a late flag on the play. That came in awfully late. It looks like it would appear that it'd be on the Evergreen Vikings. I don't know if we got an illegal use of hands or a hold. Maybe we had an illegal participation. It came from over near the bench. I believe the early indication was a clip on the Vikings. Yeah, we did. We had a clip on the Vikings. That's going to back them up all the way down to about the 12-yard line. Ball's on the 12-yard line where they're going to have first down and 10. 21-0 Tiger lead with 10 minutes left in the first half. Two-back set, and he's got wide outs to the left and the right. Miller goes up underneath center. Looks like he's going to do an audible here. The handoff. Nice move again. I'll tell you what, that was an excellent move by Keller back there in the backfield for a fullback. And Andy Silvas on the stop there. He's got the first down on that. So that'll get a little bit of momentum back for the Vikings there. An excellent delayed handoff and run by Keller.
That was, to this point in the game, that was the Vikings' strongest play on the ground as a running play, and he was picking his way through the Tiger line, and just a couple more steps, and he would have been gone.
Yeah, they had the big run, like you say, in this quarter. That's going to start them off good, and they had the big run off the option in the first. There's a straight handoff up the middle. There's nothing there except a wall of black jerseys. I see three Tigers standing up and 8 others on top of the pile. Excellent pursuit to the football there.
That run for the Vikings started on the 12-yard line and got them out some breathing room, cleared out to about the 27, so that was a dandy run by the Vikings.
I see we've got, looked like Sharp and Lindgren and Bush. That's a lot of beef up front for the Tigers. You're not going to move them out easy. And Sattler at the left end. Another handoff to Keller. They came back same play, and Keller breaks that one. He's out near the first down, out to about the 34-yard line, I believe. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short. But he's going to come up with about a 3rd and 2, I believe. They're going to spot it.
In that particular play, we had a good view of it, and the Viking offensive line did indeed make a hole right there, Glenn. They're making some good plays here, and they're beginning to move the ball down the field. About 8 minutes, a little over 8 minutes to go in the half, so they're wanting to continue this drive.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. And Miller keeps the ball. Oh, what a hit. Silvis came untouched from the backside and just very surprised that Miller popped up that quick. What a beautiful hit.
Andy Silvis had that one smelled out right from the beginning.
All the way, didn't he? That's just a beautiful hit. Good stick. You got to hear that pop up here. Tigers once again are going to send Atkinson deep with a 4th down and 4. They've brought McClure up short along with Jesse Smith on the other side. They might try a fake of their own to keep the ball away, and there's a flag. I think you're going to see a procedure. Oh, he's going to field this one cleanly too. At about the 29-yard line, and not so much room this time. He brings it up across the 35 to about the 36, and we got several flags laying on the field.
Yeah, back here before the play developed, there was movement on the right side of the Viking line. So they'll be bringing this one back, I'm sure, and walking it off and making the punter dig a little deeper to get some distance from his goal line.
Here's it. They're going to have to go back and, I think there's no question you want to force them to punt that football again. On a procedure, yeah, they're going to have to punt that ball again, so that could set up a return. So we'll see what happens here. Have to turn around and punt again. Like I said earlier in that game, about time he hits one of these as a line shot, and you give these Tigers a chance to get off to the races again, and it's going to be all over.
That's true, Glenn.
They got him. Look at. And right there proves how costly a procedure penalty can be, forcing the Vikings to punt once again. A high snap, a lobbing snap. And the Tiger defense, they were coming for the block all the way. There had to be about 8 black jerseys on the poor punter.
Jesse Smith on the tackle there.
Jesse Smith on the tackle is the initial Tiger there.
Yeah, Glenn, going back to the bobble on the punt or the procedure call, Evergreen wants desperately not to let that score roll up anymore before halftime, but Tigers are banging away right there close.
6:58 left in the half. Drosik's under center from the 13-yard line. Passes, caught by Andy Silvis. Touchdown, Tigers. What an excellent play of the Tigers on that. Drosik's to Silvis. Excellent call. That's the first time they've gone to Andy, the tight end, tonight, who's been a super receiver for the Tigers over the past couple years. A nice call by the Tigers, and that'll break your back. They'll come back to haunt you with a bad snap.
That's true. That score is really going to hurt the Evergreen Vikings at this point. I would say that was a well-run pass play because there was another receiver there to take the defender out, Glenn, and it just looked like that was well thought out and well executed, and of course resulted in 6 points for the Tigers. Drosik
to attempt the extra point, and it is good. So with 6:52 left in the first half, the Tigers strike again and make it 28-0. Once again, like I said, a play like that, the fourth down, the procedure penalty makes it so costly when somebody makes a simple mistake, and giving the Tigers another opportunity there, and it just it's got to be tough to swallow for a coach. Drossix kicks off. Got Keller and Sambola deep. Sambola takes the ball about the 14-yard line, comes up the middle, and he gets it out across the 25 out to about the 27, 28-yard line. Let's call it the 27, where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10. Except because they haven't been able to swim, but it's been awfully cool for August, but no complaints on my part.
Yeah, you're talking August. I wish it was August as a farmer. No, it's September. We're talking mid-September here right now, and we've got to have some sunshine yet. But I know for these football evenings, the boys appreciate it cool, and just a wonderful evening. The fans on the Evergreen side are a little somber at this point, but they'll be treated to a good halftime show by the Liberty Center Marching Band. And, of course, the coaches will work very hard to regroup this I'd say rather stunned Viking football team at this point, but wonderful night in the pageantry, just high school football, sports, the kids involved, they're back in school, everybody's working on an education, and it's just good to see what kids can do.
The handoff to Sambola off the left side. He breaks a couple tackles, and Smith and Ryan Miller and Munns in there on the tackle. That was our second down play there. The first down, they came back to the left side with Keller once again, the play that's been successful for him, but the Tigers had dropped him for a 1-yard loss, and now with that run by Sambola, we've got third down and long 6, let's call it 7. Ball sets on the 32-yard line. Third down and 7, or 6. A new quarterback into play for him. Wonder if, Miller got hit earlier. He floats it out there. He's got his receiver. What a beautiful catch and pass. The backup quarterback there. And I'll tell you what, Sambola got behind Miller and back underneath him, past Smith, and that ball was thrown very well.
That was a wonderfully thrown pass. In fact, he threw the ball, and the receiver didn't turn around and look until the very last minute. So that was a pretty play for the Evergreen Vikings. I'm looking for a quarterback here. 32.
I don't even.
Andrew Roop.
Andrew Roop is a new quarterback. And Keller's the ball carrier there on first down. And he lost a couple yards on that play.
Andrew Roop, a sophomore.
Sophomore quarterback. It makes you wonder if Miller, I'm trying to look to the sidelines. Overmeyer on the tackle for the Tigers. Makes you wonder if Miller's hurt on the sidelines.
That could be. He's taking some real shots back there when he's scoping for an open receiver, and he may be hurt a little.
This Roop for a sophomore has got very good size. He appears to be probably about 170 pounds. Fakes a handoff. What a hit by Troy Davis, the defensive end. He managed to get the pitch off and actually may have gained a yard on that. Overmeyer once again in on the tackle. Boy, Davis punished the quarterback. He'll be wanting to get out of there, and hopefully Miller's going to return. What a hit. You got third down and long 9.
That's so critical that these offensive lines give their quarterback enough time to execute the play, whether it's a running play that takes a little time or a pass. They've just got to give them some protection.
With this option offense, you have the ball handling is so crucial. Here he fakes it. He throws the ball. Good defensive coverage. Oh, Sambola almost came back and made a super catch on that. Joe Drossix in on the coverage for the Tigers. And that's going to bring up fourth down and 9 on the ball on the Tiger 42-yard line. I would think at this point with 3:35 left, you're past midfield that you almost have to go for it. You got to put some points on the board.
I would agree. They had the full 10 yards to be able to move the sticks, but nevertheless, the Evergreen Vikings desperate to really mount some offense here, and so they're going to get up under center.
Roop underneath the center. He's going to drop straight back. A lot of heat from the Tigers. There's that screen pass to the right, but there's Tigers coming. Beautiful. Very well executed by number 66. Paul Amstutz. What a beautiful job. And 63, I believe, is Munns coming up to help out on that. They had the wall set up for the screen over on that side, and Roop really sold the screen too by dropping back and waited patiently in the pocket and left it go, but the Tigers broke right through that wall. And therefore the Tigers are going to take over 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line. With 3:28 left, Drossic's under center. Handoff to Cam Smith off the right side. He's up across the 50 to about the 49-yard line.
Cam Smith at this time appears to be showing no ill effects from that 2-week missing the first 2 football games with an ankle injury. He had ligament troubles, but they've taken a nice long time getting him back in shape and looks like a complete rehabilitation job.
Here we go again with Drossic's. Handing off straight through the middle. Zeider makes one move. Oh, the ball's loose on the ground. The Vikings may have this one. Yep, the Vikings do. That's too bad. It was a nice run. And Coach Lindgren's not going to like that when the ball popped loose. It was an excellent effort, but sometimes when you try to get that extra yard, you have the risk of losing the football.
That's so true, Glenn. And I guess as you think of the pros that play football on Sunday, you say the ground can't cause a fumble. Well, he definitely was not on the ground when that ball popped out of there, but he did look nice on that run. It's just that he didn't hang on to it.
Roop is still in at quarterback for the Vikings. And he fakes the middle, goes to the right side is Keller, I believe. And I'll tell you, there's a host of Tigers led by Andy Silvis, Bush, and Kenzie Kern right there in on the stop. Excellent penetration by the Tiger defense.
That's exactly right. The Tiger defensive line is just plain owning that line of scrimmage for the most part. And they neutralize any efforts by the Viking offensive line, and thereby they're right there when the plays are being begun.
2nd down and 12. Drop straight back. Oh, here's a pickoff, and there's nobody there. Sam Smith from about 35-yard line. He's going to go in untouched. You could see that one unfold. The back, there was a screen to the left side. The back hadn't turned around. Roop, very different than what he did earlier. I was just talking how patient he was back in the pocket. He wanted to get rid of that one. I think he's taking a little bit of a beating, and Smith picked that ball off about the 35, and there was no way anybody's going to touch him.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of felt the heat there a little bit, and he put that ball up, and he put some air under the ball. That was not a crisp pass. He just sort of floated it there where he thought his receiver would be, but Tiger had a beat on that, and he just grabbed that in stride and waltzed in for another score.
That's defensive backs. They dream of catching a ball like that when nobody's standing in front of them, and all they can see is the end zone in front of them. So with 2:02 left in the first half, a interception and 35-yard return by Sam Smith, and a PAT by Joe Drossik puts the Tigers up 35-0.
Glenn, that's got to be a bit demoralizing for the Evergreen Vikings, and I think this Liberty Center Tiger football team is making believers out of the Vikings at this point. But there is another half of football to play. And
minutes left, but you know one thing that's been nice for the Tigers, their last 2 outings, scoring 50 and 53 points. They've gone out so explosive in the first half that they're going to have a lot of depth coming off the bench because of the playing time that these other players have received. Keller takes the ball inside the 20 and returns it out to near the 30-yard line, about the 29-yard line on the kickoff return.
as they did last week against Montpelier, and it's their reward for practicing all week against the varsity, the frontliners, and basically doing the grunt work and such. And now they get to do it here on the home crowd stadium, and so it's just something they look forward to, certainly.
Roop is back in at quarterback once again underneath center. Fakes the pitch, goes right up the middle, and there's nothing there. It looked like Lindgren, Bush, Silvis, slew of Tigers. I'm trying to see who's at the bottom. Kenzie Kern once again, or Amstutz. They just excellent effort by the Tigers on that. You know, another thing, Jim, is I look down here along the sidelines, and it appears that Liberty's got all the freshmen dressed tonight, too, for their home opener, or their first game here at home for the young season, and they've got to be chomping at the bit thinking, boy, I'm going to get to go out and show my parents I can play, or their girlfriends or whatever, but they're probably thinking, boy, if we keep rolling here, we're going to get a chance to get in this ball game, and more than likely they will.
At this point.
They really do. You know, these young kids, if they get in, they get the grass stain, they won't wash the pants for 2 weeks. They'll get to show everybody. Rube drops back, a lot of pressure by him, so that's that same screen. And boy, was that covered by Kenzie Kern from the linebacker position, picked up Keller, and he delivered a blow. Good pressure by Amstutz. Amstutz is doing a super job at this defensive end position and putting a lot of heat on the quarterback tonight. I know he hit Miller a few times, and it might be the reason that Miller's out of this ball game. You know, you look over these Tigers, too, and you think there's a lot of kids, probably better than half of them, they're going to return next year again. Here they come, Silvis. Oh, Silvis in on a blitz and handoff up the middle. Just had an arm on the back, but he had 3 other Tigers there to help him. And right away, they're going to call a timeout, which is going to bring up, they're going to have a 4th and 10, I believe, about the 29-yard line, which not something, you don't want to leave any time on the board for these Tigers and give them another opportunity to score.
But not exactly the absolute first team in there, which that's probably a good deal. Well, Troy Davis is in there. He's seen action earlier, but he's in there. And also Chris Baum's in there.
So preparing the kids and keeping them focused to one game at a time. Oh, look, a little fake of their own. And it's going to backfire on him. Mackenzie Kern got across the middle. Didn't realize the ball was coming, but it was thrown right off the back of his leg. So the Tigers are going to take over with a scoring opportunity. I didn't understand that. You'd think they'd want to punt it and get it out of there. And now they're going to take over inside the 30-yard line, about the 29-yard line. Evergreen 29. So they're going to have 1st and 10, and as explosive as they've been, they've got 56 seconds to work. And they're going to have a very good opportunity to put some type of points on the board. Drossix at center. You got both ends, 2 tight ends. 2 back set. Drops straight back. Hits Atkinson on the screen, and it looks like it's open. 1 man to beat. He kicks it to the outside. Atkinson's going to go in for the touchdown. What a beautiful screen. Very successful play in the pass for the Tigers, using Atkinson on that across the middle. And what an individual effort once he got the football.
Excellent effort. He had to kind of pick his way, and there was a pile here and a pile there, and he needed a block, and he got it, and he angled for that far sideline and went in standing up and feeling mighty good about it. Seth Atkinson has had a couple of fine plays with the ball. That 90-yard punt return, and here this pass for a touchdown in the waning seconds of the first half.
In that call, I don't want to get into the situation where I have to question a coach, but why they would want to give the Tigers another opportunity that close. Drossix has added the PAT, and now the score with 44 seconds left in the first half is Liberty Center Tigers 42, Evergreen Vikings 0.
Those
seem to have so many different things that they can do, and keeping it fairly basic, and just so many different kids with so much talent on this Tiger team. Drossix is set to kick off for the Tigers. Deep for the Vikings will be Keller and Sambola. Nice kick. It's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line by Sambola. He's out across 25, out to about the 28-yard line. Sattler, Cam Smith, Baum, and Huff in on the tackle for the Tigers. First half, 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line. Roop will be back in at quarterback.
Still have our regulars on defense, it appears.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll do. I know last week the Tigers came out with the first team for one series of offense and defense in the second half last week, and then replaced them and never brought them back in.
Atkinson on the tackle there.
Atkinson and Zeider in on the tackle. Gain of looks like about 5 yards on the play. 6 yards, we'll call it 2nd down and 4. Ball's on about the 36-yard line. This will be the last play of the first half. I don't even know if they'll snap the ball. 7 seconds and counting. They're going to call it. And they're going to go right up the middle again, and he breaks tackle, and he's out, and first down, but too little too late. And what an effort by these Tigers in this first half of football as they go in at halftime 42-0. And what a bunch of individual efforts putting together a great group effort for this Tiger team.
Yeah, that's well said, Glenn. And the Tigers' points have come on just beautiful execution. I mean, I just can't get over seeing the unit move as one. I mean, there's nobody standing up there, even if the play's going, I'm speaking offensively now, but if the play's going to the other side of the line, everybody's holding their blocks or at least trying to neutralize the defensive charge of the Vikings, and they've just got it all going their way. The quarterback's in sync with the receivers. He's making great passes, and the guys are running under him, and they're running well and smart with the ball. I don't know. Offensively, I don't know as I've seen a football team execute this brilliantly.
Aren't they? It seems like this whole team is in such good sync, and they just unbelievable. welcome back for the second half of the ball game here. We'll briefly recap the first half of action. Tigers struck first with a 5:36 remaining in the first quarter with Sam Smith on a run into the end zone to make it 7-0. With 1:47 left in the first quarter, it was Joe Drosik's pass to Jesse Smith, putting the Tigers up 14-0. With 10:03 left in the second quarter, to make it 21-0 was a 90-yard punt return by Seth Atkinson. With 6:52 left in the first half, a pass from Joe Drosik to Andy Silvis to make it 28-0. With 2:02 left, Sam Smith intercepts a route pass and returns it 35 yards for a touchdown. And with just 44 seconds left in the first half, an Atkinson pass from Drosik to make the halftime score 42-0. Start off the second half. We've got Mike McClure on the kickoff return. Returns it out to about the 36-yard line where the Tigers will take off 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line.
We'll see what the Vikings can do to regroup and to make something positive out of a pretty solid thrashing to this point.
Drosik's underneath center. Pitch out to Smith around the right side. Good lead block by Zeider. Smith up across the 40-yard line. Probably going to spot it real close to the 40-yard line. Be a gain of 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Going to be a second down and 5, second down and 6. We'll call it from the 40-yard line. I look for Liberty and Coach Rex Lindgren to go with the first unit here for at least one series of the second half and try to get some. Here's an inside handoff to Atkinson. What an effort. Gets the ball out very close to the first down marker. Depending on the spot, I think we're going to be probably about a foot and a half short. An excellent effort on the inside reverse there to Atkinson.
Bring up a good point, Glenn, about the first unit for the Tigers on offense beginning this first drive after the half. A lot of people think that the first unit, as the weeks unfold, are going to need the work. They're going to need the conditioning, the game-like conditions. So we're seeing them now, and I'm sure we can look forward to a lot of people on the bench getting in there to get their licks in. But here we are as the second half begins, and there's a measurement. And we'll see what develops as the Tigers are on offense.
Going with Zeider and Smith in the backfield. Atkinson set out to the left, double tight end. And dive right off the right side of Smith. He breaks to the outside, and he's off to the races. Down inside at 25, 20, 15, and he stays in bounds, and he's down. Oh, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. What an acrobatic effort to stay in bounds. It almost looked like he ran backwards for about 15 yards. Third down and a foot, and he breaks it and takes the ball down to the 10-yard line where the Tigers will have 1st and 10. What a run by Sam Smith.
It was a real dance along that sideline. How he stayed in bounds and kept his feet off the chalk, I don't know. But the officials did say he stepped on the yard mark or the out-of-bound line.
I don't know if he could have gone any further. I got physically abused up here on that last run. What an effort by Sam Smith on just a simple dive off the right side, and he turns into a long gainer. 1st and 10. Pitch out to Atkinson around left side. Plenty of blocking in front of him. Atkinson walks into the end zone. What an excellent, very well executed. He had a wall of blockers in front of him.
We're going to have to check the statistics after this game, but I believe every time Seth Atkinson touched the ball on offense, whether it be a punt return or a pass down at the other end, I think has resulted in a touchdown. Now that'd be something to really reminisce on. We're going to have to
be real close to that because I think you're right. Every time he's had his hands on the ball, he's made something happen tonight. This is going to be tough on us to call this because I think we're going to see a lot of substituting going on the next offensive series for the Tigers. Drossix into for the extra point. We're going to have a delay of game on Liberty Center, which shouldn't be too bad for him to, they'll back him up 5 yards. You know, Jim, one of the tough things facing for the Tigers being that this is their third game, and the varsity has not had much more than a half of football in each one of their games, the first 3 games. You know, and you respect the coaching staff for pulling these kids out and getting all these other younger kids into play, but I know our conditioning program over here in Liberty Center is an excellent they do an excellent job. I think Coach Spees runs the conditioning and really has these kids physically ready to play football. But you wonder if down the road, if it's not going to, you know, you'd look at week 5, Patrick Henry coming in here. These kids might be expected to play 4 quarters of football, and it makes you wonder. But then again, Patrick Henry on the other side has had just as much success this year, and it's going to make it really interesting.
That's true. Being conditioned is not the same as game conditions.
Yeah, the extra point by Drossix after being backed up a couple times, he still puts it through. And with 10:32 remaining in the third quarter, it's Liberty Center 49 and Evergreen 0.
Yeah, he is. Joe Jurasik is a very valuable man for this Tiger team. He just gets double duty anywhere you look at it. And we're seeing just about a complete group of fresh shirts out there, I think, for the most part, Glenn. And we'll try and set the defense as they make the changes here.
We'll do the best that we can on setting some of these new players. Drossix kicks a nice line drive. Keller fields it at about the 11-yard line, out across the 20, 25, out to about the 27-yard line. We've got a flag on the play, and it was thrown in the area of Drossix. It could have been a clip or illegal use of hands on the Vikings. Tim Huff and Seth Atkinson in on the tackle. I look for Rex to go with mainly the first unit on defense here to give them one series here in the second half. I do see some new jerseys in there. Tim Huff is in there as a defensive back. I see Kenzie's changed his jersey, Kenzie Kern, so it looks like he'll probably be getting some duty in the backfield on the offensive side of the ball.
Chad Gill's in there.
Chad Gill will be in on the defensive side. Spangler is going to be at the tackle. And we'll call him as we see him. First down and 10. Handoff, right side, out and around. Ooh, nice stick. Hits the ball out to the 20-yard line. Did have a gain of 5 on the play. Had Zeider and Kern in on the stop. Along with Huff and Ziegler. Host of Tigers in on the tackle. Going to bring up... I guess we didn't cross that far. About a second down and 8 yards to go. Ball's on the 21-yard line. Roop is in at quarterback to start off the second half for the Vikings. Double set back, twins left. Procedure, I thought, no, I didn't see a flag. And nowhere to go on the left side. Andy Silvis leads the attack. Kenzie Kern and Spangler in to assist on the tackle. Slew of Tigers once again.
You brought up an interesting point earlier. I believe the Tigers are trying to get work for their regulars, and it's not a question of wanting to roll up some score. When they're offense, they want to continue to execute and get that game conditioning, which you can only get in the game. And likewise for the defense, they're out there, and it probably won't be long though to when the coaches will make the changes.
Roop sets up under center. We got twins left, double sets, drops back to pass, looking for the screen again, gets it off to the right side, a blocker out front. Nice effort coming up through to make that tackle. Trying to get the number. Once again, that was Andy Silvers coming up and making the tackle on the play. He's going to be short of the first down, well short. And it looks like it's going to be about a 4th and 4 for the Vikings in a punting situation. Might be having some cramps. That's Ryan Zeider getting stretched out by the trainer. Probably some good cramps. Deep for the Tigers is Jesse Smith this time. What a beautiful punt. Jesse runs it down. And the ball goes out of bounds, clear down at the 21-yard line. A flag on the play, and once again, that may come back to haunt him if you've got a procedure penalty. That was a beautiful punt.
And they're not quite in sync as the officials are bringing that ball back and going to make them punt it again.
That's twice tonight now that they've gotten off a couple really good punts, and it's come back to haunt them with just a simple procedure penalty. And that's where your discipline comes into play, where you've got to be disciplined to get up to the line of scrimmage and know what's going on at all times. This time deep, we've got McClure. We've got another flag. Line drive kick. McClure's going to field this one. And we've got stopping it. He must have signaled for a fair catch. They're going to spot the ball, so we're going to do it over again.
Yeah, it appeared as though a Viking lineman was a little anxious to get his blocker to get downfield to cover that punt, and so they're going to walk it backwards again. There's a lot of little things. It appears as though the Tigers can and did decline, and therefore will take the ball on the 44-yard line. But there's just many things that will stall an offense out, and the Vikings have made a lot of mistakes penalty-wise, and just things that, well, when you just add them up, they're not able to move against this quicker Tiger defensive unit.
I think that gets very, very frustrating for Coach Bieber and the Vikings, and I think it's more of a courtesy call for Coach Lindgren to just decline the penalty. Now we see a bunch of new Tigers. Ryan Zeider in at quarterback, hands off straight ahead to Cam Smith, number 32, who moves ahead. Looks like he got the ball out 5 yards on the first carry, so they're going to be faced with a 2nd and 5. So we've got Zeider at quarterback. We'll try to name off. We've got Scott Sharp playing left tackle, Tim Huff at left end, Kenzie Kern at fullback. Tip Lady will be in at a tackle. You got Mike McClure.
Chad Gill at another end.
And we've got too many men on the field here for the Vikings. They're trying to get a substitution, and it looks like they're going to have to use a timeout as they're counting their players out. Sattler and Amstutz in at guards for the Tigers. I believe that would be Coey in at center. Jason Coey at center. I think we've touched all the Tigers are in there. So the Tigers' second unit is in. The Vikings are regrouping now and making sure they got the right numbers in. It'd be very frustrating for them, Jim, at this time to. Here we go. 2nd down 5. Zeider sets up underneath center. Kern and Smith in the backfield. Hand off to Smith. Nice penetration on the left side. Somebody missed a blocking detail on that right side. Got somebody else in over there, Jim. I'm trying to see. Looks like number 89. Is that Gill? Maybe the tight end on the right side. Penetration came from our Evergreen left side, our right side of our line.
I have a comment, but go ahead and call this play. And
3rd down, a loss of 2 on that. We got 3rd and 7, long 7. Here's a pitch out to Kern, left side. Good blocking out front by Cam Smith, and Sattler leading the way for him. Excellent blocking to lead the way. Nice run by Kenzie Kern. Takes the ball up to about the 43-yard line, enough for a 1st down for the Tigers.
That was excellent blocking, and for the player or for the team, it was right in front of the coaches. You always like to get your block and do a good job on it so that the coaches didn't miss that one. So he'll like looking at the films when that play is rerun.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, that's the place to do it, right in front of the coach. First down and 10, 43-yard line. Zeiter sets up under center. Kernan, Smith in the backfield. Straight dive off left side to Cam Smith. Nice effort. Moves the ball up across the 40 down to about the 36-yard line. Another quick hitter off the left side.
I think it's just so positive that these second stringers for the Tigers are executing as well as they are. If you watch the offensive line, the way they fire out and how serious they are about completing their assignments, that's a mark of a good team. I mean, these guys aren't out there just playing patty cake. I mean, they're trying to do the job they've been practiced to do, and hopefully they think maybe they could crack the starting lineup at some point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they're going to, there's going to be times when they're going to be called on to do the job. You know, you never know. You might have an injury creep up on one of our players. Looks like on that play there, just our left guard, it was going to pull out left and just pulled up a little bit early for a procedure penalty. So the Tigers are going to be faced with a second down, probably about 9 yards to go. And we move back to the 42-yard line. But, yeah, they are very well disciplined, Jim, and they're coming off the ball nice and really doing a super job out here. Once again, we'll try to keep you posted on any of the new numbers out here as we see them. Inside handoff to Cam Smith. He breaks it. He's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cam Smith. Just a quick hitter up the middle once again. Well executed. Excellent blocking.
I believe the remark was earlier that Cam Smith is so quick on that first step that on an occasion the quarterback has trouble even getting him the ball. Well, on that time there was some pretty fancy ball handling there, and he did get that ball, and then all he needed was a step and into the end zone for Cam Smith. And how sweet it must be after an injury that kept him out up until this point in the season.
He didn't look too injured there, did he, Jim? He took off for the races there, and he wasn't going to stop. We've got Spangler in the top the extra point, so we're even getting deep with our kickers here. And boy, what a beautiful kick. He put that up nice and high and smooth right through the uprights. Well, with the Spangler PAT and Cam Smith touchdown run, it puts the score with 5:25 left in the third quarter. Liberty Center Tigers 56, Evergreen Vikings 0.
Glenn, as a former coach, going back to your coaching experience, I would ask you, what would you do to get something positive out of this if you were at the Evergreen group right now? I mean, they're beaten. They know they're beaten, but how would you bring a group of boys along so that they could make something positive out of this experience?
Well, it's not an easy job when you're in a situation like this, but you've got to tell the kids to try to keep them positive, keep them focused on what they have to do. It's a young season, and a lot of things are going to happen. You know, it's tough. You come in 2-0 with high expectations, thinking that you can knock off a Liberty Center team. It's got to be tough for Coach Bieber, but he's got to just keep the kids focused, and they've got to stay disciplined and do the things right. Correct the procedure penalties, holdings, drop passes, and just work on fundamentals. And like I said, try to keep the kids focused on what they have to do and build from that.
Okay, I believe that was well spoken. And as you say, it's just one game. It's just one game in the schedule. So hopefully these kids can keep a good attitude and still try to do their jobs as best they can.
Spangler to kick off for the Tigers, a wobbling kick. It's going to be hard to handle, but Keller does a nice job. Takes it from about the 18, across 20, across 25, kicks it out to 30, 35. He's going to be out close to the 40-yard line. Nice return by Keller as he took it all the way across the field. About a 22-yard return on that one. And Spangler on the stop, the kicker. Like I said, we're going to try to keep up. I see we've got Ryan Miller on the defense.
Blake Lindgren's out there.
Is Blake still in there? Well, we got Lindgren's a sophomore. You've got to keep these underclassmen. Even if they're starters, we got to keep them in there and get them the experience. Munns and Overmeyer. I see Overmeyer at the left tackle, so we got two different tackles. Sattler and Davis at the ends. Here comes Sattler across. Oh, look at him come through that offensive line. What? Oh, nice penetration. Poor Roop. He didn't have anywhere to go. And look at the numbers of black jerseys in on the tackle.
Backside pursuit.
Sattler took on 2 blockers on that play coming around this end and just gave the defensive backs the time to come up and help out.
Overhouse in there now. Ryan Miller.
Okay, we see Miller and Overmeyer we know of. Overhouse, Josh Overhouse. Ooh, nice top by Blake Lindgren, the nose guard on Sambola. It helped out with Troy Davis. I believe Sattler was there again. Excellent effort there by Blake Lindgren. Just a sophomore at nose tackle.
Chris Baum making some things happen out there at linebacker.
Got Chris Baum in at linebacker. This is getting tough, Jim. That's why we're paid the high dollar to do this, you know. And they keep up with all these changes. A lot of nice, clean white pants. Oh, looked like the Tigers may have jumped. Like Lindgren just leaned forward a little bit too early.
I don't know if we've got any statistics on it, but that is one of the few Tiger penalties right there. We've watched a lot of football. We've had a lot of different sets out there as far as substitutions and such, and clearly that defensive lineman appeared to move before the snap, but they did call it on Evergreen, so the defensive lineman had good reason to move. He was reacting on what he saw, and even though it looked up here as though the Tigers would be flagged, they flagged Evergreen.
I think that is only the 3rd Tiger penalty. We had one early, the touchdown called back, which they came right back and scored again. Here's Root back to pass again, and he's sacked again. That's another Jim Busick, 6'1", 175-pound sophomore. Boy, he came through there. He wants to make a name for himself. An excellent effort. I believe he just came in and substituted for Lindgren at nose guard. He's awfully quick. Punt situation here with a 4th and 23, a must punt. Another flag. I'll bet you we're going to have another procedure. Got Miller deep, and they're going to let this one go. Keller's up to there to down it for the Vikings at the 34-yard line, but I believe this one's going to come back again.
It looked like movement on the offensive line as they got into that play to try to make the punt. I think Evergreen's got some fresh people out there, and they're mixing it up pretty good. They're still playing hard, and it is a very competitive game at this point. But Evergreen can't get near the end zone, and that speaks volumes for this Tiger defense.
I think once again Rex is going to go ahead and decline that penalty and give these kids an opportunity to move the football. And we're seeing some substitutions on the Evergreen side now too. A lot of white jerseys coming in there, and that's good. That's another thing that you've got to do. You know, you're down 56-0. 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter yet. Liberty freely substituting, and now Coach Beaver is just saying we've got to get some kids in there, and we've got to build our depth chart, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Tigers going to take over 1st and 10, ball on the 34-yard line. Zyder underneath center, hands off straight ahead. I believe that's Kenzie Kern. What a nice strong running there. He's, I think the momentum carried him past.
11-yard gain.
Depending on the spot here, I think they're going to bring it back where they blew the whistle a little bit early. I don't think they expect anybody to carry 6 white jerseys with him. They're going to mark it a 9-yard gain. 2nd down and 1 coming up. The ball on the 43-yard line. Nice effort by Kenzie Kern.
Even with the score standing at 56-0, there isn't a fan that's left his seat. These NWOAL likes football. It wants to see football, and regardless of what team's doing the excellent playing, I believe the fans appreciate it.
Kern gets the call right up the middle again. That time the Evergreen defense got pretty stingy. I see on that play we had Brett Silvis in the backfield, and now Chad Collins has gone in. And Kern's going to come out after that carry. Yeah, there's somebody under frustration. We got a personal foul against Evergreen on that play, which is going to be an automatic first down for the Tigers. And I think we've may have pulled Zeider out of the quarterback slot, and number 9, that'd be Troy Davis. Is he going to play some? No, I see number 4 now. Shaddy's gone in at quarterback. Davis is just coming out.
5'10" sophomore.
Yep, 5'10", sophomore. Shaddy played most of the second half last week against Montpelier. So he's had some varsity experience here. Coey's still at center. You got McClure and Collins, I believe, in the backfield. Collins is going to get the call. He's got a wall of blockers out in front of him. Turns up sidelines. First down to the inside the 25. Looks like down to about the 22-yard line. Nice effort. Once again, a wall of blockers.
It was. That was good execution, and even though maybe the fans see the ball carrier run, there's a lot of things that it takes to go right for that ball carrier to get those steps he needs to get in the open field. And I'm sure they're going to like looking at themselves in the film and be glad they got those blocks. This Chad Collins made a nice run along the sideline, and as he was sort of hemmed in, he didn't go for the sideline. He put his head down and got another couple yards. Nice play.
Shaddy sets under center. Miller in motion. Pitch to Miller, and once again he's got a wall of blockers out front. He's got speed. Cuts it to the outside, and he's going to be taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, which should be good enough for another Tiger first down. And somewhere they say there's a flag on the play, and I don't see it from up here. It's going to be against the Tigers. We have an illegal shift on the Tigers. Had to be something with Miller in motion, but well executed play again, Jim. They took off and went around that outside, and he had a wall of blockers. The backs are coming around. That's why they call it student bodies, I believe.
Going back to your coaching experience with, you can tell us the years that you were involved in coaching high school football a while back, but did you ever see a group of kids execute as well as these Liberty Center Tigers here tonight?
They've had so much success over the last several years. It's hard to say which team is the best. I think this group is working together really well, and the thing that this team has that I haven't seen with any other team is this team speed. I have never seen a team that has so many positions that are so fast, so many backs and linemen, and it's incredible that just like I said before the game, the depth. You're 6 deep in the backfield with your 6-man having over 80 yards rushing coming into this week. Here's a pitch out the left side. McClure, one of our very fast backs, and he's going to take it down inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line.
Addressing high school football as we're watching it now, or as we're kind of been experiencing these last several weeks, oftentimes the line play does not have to be the quote pancake block like Orlando Pace is so famous for what he dished out at Ohio State. If they can just neutralize the defensive player long enough for the play to begin to unfold, then we're talking the yards, and the back can do much of it on his own. Would you agree with that? And I just got to think these Tigers are just plain doing that here tonight.
I agree with you, Jim, and the speed, like we were talking earlier, these kids, these linemen even, they get out, and if they're pulling from the backside, they're going to get out with their speed and create interference for the running backs, and I think you're seeing the other backs get out and create that same interference around the end. And it gives you a lot of options when you're that quick in carrying that ball around. When you've got three of your own team members out in front of you like that, you can go left, right, or straight. And we got another procedure penalty on the young Tigers here. It's going to put the ball back to about the 24-yard line. They're going to have 3rd down and 12. And the clock's ticking down. This may very well be the last play of the 3rd quarter. If they get off the snap, they might hold off here. They're going to get it off. McClure, the ball carrier, going to have another flag. You often get this with the younger kids, but now it's all of a sudden, Jim, there's a lot of flags being thrown. I think this one's going to come back on a holding call.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a former football coach that I really enjoy watching him. There's that inside reverse to Miller, and he breaks it. He's got one blocker out front, uses the blocker very well, cuts it back in, takes it down to the 9-yard line, 10-yard. What a beautiful run. What a great run. That was on third down. It's going to put it down. I think he got the first down, didn't he? Oh, flag clear over on the other side of the field.
That play took quite a while in developing, and looks like the preliminary signal, as you point out, might be a clip. I actually thought he about stepped out of bounds on the 20-yard line, but the official was right there, so he saw him inbounds, and the ball rests on the 10-yard line. But they've talked to the Evergreen Vikings, and looks as though they'll bring it back.
We're going to have third down, and the ball's going to be on the 28-yard line. I'm going to say about 3rd and 17.
No time on the clock. Something's wrong here.
On
the penalty. Yeah.
You got a penalty. We're going to make the last play here. Oh, he's got a receiver wide open. If Shady can get the ball out to him, he's got it. It's a touchdown, Liberty Center. Well executed, rolled out, had plenty of time to throw. It's Shady to Gill for the touchdown from 28 yards out with no time left in the third quarter. The score is the Tigers 62, Vikings 0. And Spangler will go in once again to attempt the extra point.
You have to be impressed with these Tiger receivers, Glenn. They keep their eye on the ball, and they wait and catch it before they run. He was so wide open, you'd almost thought that he smelled 6 points before the ball got there, but he looked the ball into his hands and scored.
Ooh. Well, we had a high snap on that one. Shady did do a good job of getting the ball back down on the block, but the Vikings surge was too much, and they blocked the extra point attempt. So at the end of 3 quarters, it's the Liberty Center Tigers 62 and the Evergreen Vikings 0. Spangler kicking off for the Tigers. Oh, he puts a blooper down there. They'll stay in bounds. Oh, it's going to. Oh, there he left it go out of bounds. The ball rolled out to 10. For a while, I didn't think it was going to get out of bounds. How do you leave the Evergreen side? And they're very faithful to their young Vikings also. And you know, they came in here with big expectations at 2-0 and thinking they could upend the Tigers. And evidently the Tigers are very focused on what they had to do. Here's a straight handoff, and once again the penetration by the Tigers led by Gill and Busick. And Matt Schwab also in on the tackle. So a lot of penetration by the Tiger defense. Got some more new players in there. Number 84. Proudfoot's in there. Munz is still in there. 80 out here. Number 80 out here on this end. Josh Overhouse. What a nice fake by Roop. He carried that ball. Oh. Chad Collins on the stop, and was that Ryan Miller? What a hit. That's when you set him up and take him down. Like I said, Collins wrapped up the receiver, and Miller came up and finished him. And nice hit.
This reserve quarterback for Evergreen throws a nice pass. Had several nice passes he's made. And credit to their receiver out there. He kept that ball and hung on to it in spite of the tough defense by the Tigers.
Gone in and out at tackle.
Kane Myers out there right now at tackle.
Myers in to replace Moeller at tackle. There's a pitch out around the left side. Oh, nice. Very nice. Once again, you got Gill, Huff, Busick, Munz, a lot of Tigers in on that stop. Keller in there, number 86. So we're trying to keep everybody happy here on trying to keep up with all the substitutions. 71. Is that Myers?
71.
Yeah, okay. 52 in for the Tigers. Another nice punt. Whitman in for the Tigers. Miller fields the punt. No, they're going to call. Okay. Whoop. Yeah, I think you're going to get an illegal block. It was questionable, but the referees are right on top of it. They've done a nice job tonight. I think probably just come back a couple yards here, probably 10 yards, and the Tigers will take over.
On special.
With the speed of these kids today, high school athletes, one split-second pause, and you're going to have a helmet in the back. You might think you're going to put it in front, but these kids really can move. Got Shaddy back in at quarterback. McClure and Collins in. Collins right up the middle on the carry. Looks like you got a few yards on that carry. Yeah, you have second down and probably about 7 yards to go.
Started that drive on the 13.
The 13-yard line, and we're out to about the 17-yard line. Brett Silvis is in to replace him in the backfield. Also have Ryan Miller in the backfield. Gill and Huff at your ends. Pitch out to Collins, takes around the right side. Nice defense. Nice block by Silvis out front. Collins takes it out close to the 20-yard line. Going to be third down in probably about 4, Jim.
Fullback, but nevertheless, he runs with real strength out there, and this Tiger unit is means business.
Right up the middle there. Yeah, they gave Collins right up the middle. I think they're looking for that time. Tigers going to be forced to punt here with a fourth down and probably 4 yards to go.
Number 50.
We got another Miller going in there, 59, Jesse Miller. Moeller coming out. Ryan Miller will do the punting honors. Matt Furco's in. Nice snap. Miller gets off punt. Nice punt. Out to about midfield. Bounces about 45, and the Tigers are going to down it about the 44-yard line. Brett Westoven covering. And the Vikings will take over on the Tigers' 44-yard line with 7:40 left in the game. Brad Proudfoot back in on the defense. Westoven, Furco, Gill. Handoff over the right side. That's, he breaks it. There goes Huff chasing him. Miller chases. He's touchdown, Evergreen. That's a nice effort. That was Cimbolin. He's the one that broke the option early in the game in the first quarter. Just off the right side there with a dive. Looked like the tackle went down hard, and he came right across, and he cut it back to the outside. It was a nice run.
That was a nice run, and that gives the Evergreen fans over there something to holler about, and they'll, to find a positive on that side of the field has been rather difficult tonight here, as they were clearly outmatched by the Tigers, but nevertheless, they're on the scoreboard and feeling good about it.
Vikings will attempt a two-point conversion. Roop up underneath center. Wide outs right and left. Fakes. Nice fake. Ball in the hip. Oh, who's this? Penetration by Collins, and they bring him down in the backfield. So the two-point conversion is no good with 7:30 left in the game. The Liberty Center Tigers 62, the Evergreen Vikings 6. Kick for the Vikings. Deep is Silvis and Collins. Ooh, a short kick, fielded about the 35-yard line, up to the 40, up to about the 41, 42-yard line.
Ben Mold on the carry there.
Ben Mold on the carry. 5'11" sophomore. Boy, there's a lot of new Tigers in here. Shaddy, the sophomore quarterback, comes back in. We got Moeller in there at tackle, another sophomore. Bloomfield, 73. Who's up, 59? Jesse Miller. There's Silvis off the left side. He takes it ahead for a 9-yard carry right up through the middle. Good surge by that offensive line coming off the ball. Cordes gone into the ball game for the Tigers, and Ryan Miller coming out. Nice young football team here for the Tigers. They come up with 2nd and 1. Ball right at midfield. And there's a first down. Collins right up through the middle. Dives ahead for about 2 yards and gets the first down. Actually about 3 yards on the carry.
Brother combinations out here for the Tigers, and they're making memories out here. They're going to have something to talk about to Mom and Dad, and as they get old and the stories, they'll remember the good plays, and of course the plays will get a little bit better as time goes on.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of talking for many, many years with some of the tradition that these young men are starting out here. Terry Miller, defense and offensive back. I think he's a receivers coach. Tim Spees, your defensive coordinator. Jeff Jurasic's with the offense. Scott Barrett with the linebackers, and Tom Moeller. Tom's helped out for years. Just a super job by all of our coaches. Normie Zeiter. A lot of Liberty Center players that have come back, very successful players, come back to help out the program and give their 2 cents, and they've done a super job. A lot of old athletes in there.
Yeah, there's a great Tiger tradition here in place, and as we that play is going to go for the whole touchdown, but flags thrown back here, and we'll wait and let the officials sort it out for us to see if there was an infraction. Preliminary signal is holding on the Tigers. But as we look ahead in this unfolding season, smacking their chops now, I guess, Glenn, and thinking they're going to play a lot of ball here during this regular league play and hopefully in the after season.
Yeah, we'll call this play here, and they've got Shaddy on the keeper. Nice defensive effort. Linebacker coming up, making the play on that. Game at a time, because if you've got
played, but Tigers have it going now, and they just need to be careful and hopefully get by without the injury bug biting them, and they can play a lot of football yet. They sure look like they have the talent to play a lot of quality football here in this season.
Yeah, you're right. The 27-yard line, 28-yard line be 1st and 10, and there's 4:19 left in the ball game. See, number 68, Kyle Berkstead is in the ball game at nose guard. Big freshman. Got Yav. 60. Oh, that's 68 coming out.
81, Albert Davis now in the game.
Davis, 81.
Joe Keller, number 86 now.
And about 2.5 for the Vikings. Ball on the 35-yard line. Roop fakes. Ooh, good penetration. They're just going to get the job done. A lot of Tigers missing tackles here. But they made him pay for that there. I think Roop felt that. Keller and Overhouse. Overhouse and Keller on the tackle, and some good pads crunching. We can hear it up here. Be a first down. Roop on the carry. Takes it out across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Be 1st and 10. Handoff right up through the middle. That's McIntosh again. Well, he's got some nice moves, and Chad Collins on the stop, but not before McIntosh takes it out across the 50-yard line down to about the 48.
That's good.
Yeah, And there's a lot of nice young athletes on this Evergreen team. And here we go. Oh, nice penetration. They spun him around about 3 times. First person there was Jesse Miller on the penetration. Boy, did he put a hit to him. And he bounces off and gets punished again up front. Like Furco and Gill coming up on the stop. Jesse Miller, the younger brother of All-Stater and Nick Miller a year ago. There's another nice, lot of gang tackling in there. Good pursuit by the Tigers. I think he may have gotten the first down there as he crossed the Tiger 46-yard line.
That's right. His number is 1, and he finished the first half standing over there, and I don't know. I don't know what's up with them, but they do have a substitute quarterback that throws a nice pass and handles the ball well. So
Starkey, number 21, lining up as a DB out here, taking the wide out. Handoff. Ooh, he bobbled that ball. That's McIntosh again. Ooh, nice stick by Tim Huff. And the ball's loose on the ground. It looks like the Tigers may have this. A lot of hands waving back Tiger way, and they do. What a nice stick. Once again, you had Keller. Number 81 was in on that. Brett Westoven, Schwab, Overhouse, Moeller, Keller. Shaddy up underneath center. Handoff straight through the middle. I believe it's Collins. He gains about 5 yards right through the middle on that carry. They're hitting the holes quick. The line's coming off the ball, and they look pretty smooth. An honor to these ball players that are coming out here and hitting each other. And there's the final buzzer. And the final score is going to be Liberty Center Tigers 62, the Evergreen Vikings 6. Some of the victorious Tigers. I've got Cam Smith, Joe Jurasics, and Andy Silvas. And it's good to have these Tigers down here. Cam, it's good to see you back on the field. You looked very healthy tonight, very explosive. What's your feelings on coming back with this ball team?
I feel great, and we got the best bunch of seniors that ever graced the field at Liberty Center here. We've got some good blockers, good quarterback. We got everything. And
that's great, and make sure you include the word speed. Very fast. Joe, you looked real good tonight. You handled the ball well. You threw the ball excellent. You've got a nice core of receivers. Seems like you're improving every ball game. What are you looking forward to?